Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Dads. I'm Joey.
And I'm Tim.
So today we're going to show you a really cool summer option. It doesn't seem like it's summer because it's May, but I only have a week's worth of work left. We're going to show you our recipe for, it's a combination of some of our existing recipes. Chickpea salad sandwich, except it's a wrap. And then what do we pair with it?
All right, and then we have a high-protein pasta salad.
Mm-hmm. And both are existing recipes, but we thought we'd just put them all together. It's kind of Sunday, and we're really hungry, and we thought we're trying to do this thing where we want these 400-calorie meals. I know I've been doing that for a long time, but this whole meal comes in at under 400 calories and about 37 to 40 grams of protein.
Yeah.
So
this is a lot of food to satisfy.
It's a whole plate of food. So we're going to show you how we did this, and we'll give you the macros at the end.
And then at the end also we'll talk about some variations that you can do to make it your own or your flavor profile. So.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is, starting with this video, which they're probably going to notice, filming on the weekend and then getting these things out to the Patreon financial supporters early and then getting the video out 2 days later for everyone on Tuesday, it is a lot of work. And everything I do at night on Sundays, which is when I film on Saturday and Sunday, we go grocery shop, we gotta buy everything, we gotta film this stuff, and once we're done filming this and it's time to edit, I only have so much time before I have to start the stuff I do for school at work, which is all that stuff starting at 5 p.m. on Sunday to prepare for my classes all week, which again is not paid.
All right.
So I have hired an editor, right? And he's really cheap and he's nearby. And it's Lex. Listen, the pay is very low. There's not a lot, but it's just a few extra bucks. Plant-based ads isn't exactly a gold mine, but it's a few extra bucks to get him to do some of the work, and it'll really help his experience.
I feel like he's really good with editing.
Yeah.
He's coaching one swim team this summer, going to summer school, so this gives him the flexibility.
Yeah, it's
skills.
I think it's perfect.
Yeah. He's happy.
The reason I got into YouTubing is because he had his own channel, I would help him film, and he would edit when he was 9 years old. So he's been editing actually longer than I have. So I think this is just a natural progression. But because of that, I'm very OCD about many things, about how the show looks like a television show. It starts off with an intro, there's clips, there's sounds, it ends with an outro, all the clips come together. It's basically done in 3 parts. I don't know how that's going to look, and I'm just going to let go of all that. I'm just giving him control, and I'm just going to accept it, and we'll work together to get to some place where we're both happy.
He has some good ideas, so we're excited going forward here.
Yeah, so the video assembly is going to look a little different, and I'm just going to have to be okay with it for a while. All right, let's get to how he made the food. Tim, I like this. This is fun. What are we making right now?
All right, we are going to start with our dressing, so that has time to meld together.
So what do you have here?
Well, usually we would use the starch solution mayo, which is the tofu based, but today we are using our fermented Greek yogurt, packed with protein.
So this is one serving of our own Greek recipe.
That's
right?
correct.
Greek yogurt recipe.
Yes.
All right, let's pop that in. So that little spatula just gets the whole fit. It's like a mason jar spatula, right?
Yeah, I love this thing. I use this for making bread.
Very cool. There'll be a link in the description below where you can get this is part of a set of spatulas that we absolutely love.
Yeah.
All right, so the Greek yogurt's in here. We want to thin it out a little bit because it's not really ready to be dressing yet. So we're just going to add a little bit of water here. And we're going to try and whisk it and get it a little thinner. And we've got about 2 ounces of water total if we need it all. But we don't want to just pour it all in unless it's, it depends on how much water the Greek yogurt has maintained or how much whey is in there, right? So I think we need a little bit more, right?
Okay.
All right. Let's try that. All right, so the next thing we're putting in is about 56 grams of dill pickle, and we did dice all this up, right?
Yes.
All right. All right, so now we're going to put in, about a tablespoon of lemon juice.
A little shy of a tablespoon.
Yeah, it might be too much, but if it is, that's okay. I think that's enough.
All right, our next 2 ingredients, we're going to add some parsley and a little bit of dill. Now, there's 2 different measurements we're going to give you. We're going to use dried today. So can I have that measurement, Joey?
Yeah, so for dry, we're using about a half a tablespoon.
Okay.
So we do half a tablespoon of parsley and half a tablespoon of dill. But if you're going to use fresh chopped ingredients here, then you want to do, I don't know, about a quarter of a cup of each one.
Yeah, and normally I think whenever we've made this before, we've used the
Well, we've already went to the store and then realized we're missing stuff and went back, and we're just not going back again.
Okay, so at this point I'm going to try to, stir this together, get it mixed before we add in additional ingredients.
And we could throw some salt and pepper in here too at this point if we'd like. Let's just get, it does look good with the dill in there, huh?
Yeah, it really does.
Let's grab a little spoon here, and I don't really know what to expect from the taste of this, so I'm going to let you taste it.
Thanks.
You're kind of a chickpea salad connoisseur. What do you think?
Yeah, it's good.
All right, so it tastes good. I think we're right where we need to be. So this is the dressing. We'll just pour it over the chickpeas at this point, but we'll show you what we did the chickpea first, right?
Yep. We have chickpeas, some celery, some scallions.
Yeah. All right, let's get to that. All right, so here we've got 2 cans of chickpeas rinsed and drained, or drained and then rinsed, obviously.
Yep.
So we're gonna mash it up a little bit. We want the chickpeas overall to be whole, but we do want some of them to kind of be crushed a little bit to kind of add to the dressing, right? So we want it to be kind of semi-crushed, semi-whole. So Tim's just using a potato masher. Again, you can do this in the food processor. That's how we normally do it. It's much easier, but I just hate that dragging that thing out, plugging it, like it's a lot of work. So
yeah, this is a quick lunch.
Yeah. So what we have here is this a celery? I can't tell. What we have here is about 2 stalks of celery, so we're just going to pop that in. And then we've got 2 to 3 stalks of scallions. It looks like it's a lot of scallions, but we love us some scallions, so I don't care. Can't have too many of those, right?
Exactly. Okay, we'll do a little mixy, and
it looks pretty good.
Time to add the dressing.
And then we'll give it kind of a toss, and there we go. So we're going to fold the dressing in once we get it out of this bowl. And it looks like there should be plenty of dressing for this. Got a bigger wooden spoon, or?
No, we're good.
All right, so Tim's just going to take that dressing and fold it in. I absolutely love chickpea salad. I mean, all the way back from the starch solution, this is something I just looked forward to every time we had it. All right, the funny thing about this is when I was, a meat eater, I never really ate chicken salad. I did like tuna salad on bagels, but that was it. But, once we became plant-based, chickpea salad just became a way of life, and it's still one of my favorites. All right, at this point, do you want to taste it and just see what you got here?
Let's see.
Okay, don't take too much of it, because we got to,
This tastes great.
All right, so now this really starts to meld together when it's in the refrigerator for a day or two, right? So, it will taste better like for tomorrow's lunch, and I like to make this ahead of time. All right, so here's our chickpea salad. We're going to show you what to do with this. There are a few options, but just the way it is right now, it's about 131 calories, depending on, how much vegetables you use. But with what we did, it's 131 calories for just the salad and about 8 grams of protein. So you want to line this up with some protein bread or protein bagels or protein wraps, which is what we're going to do, and then we're going to serve it with a protein-rich side, kind of like a pick two at a bread company or something, and we'll show you how we get a complete meal out of this.
Sounds great.
All right, so this is the base recipe. You can totally add some sugar if you want to this, mustard powder, anything that you would normally add to chickpeas. But as far as the base recipe for calories and the macros we're giving you, this is what works for that, right?
Yeah, what we showed you, but you have liberty to add, like you said, a sweetener of some kind, like monk fruit, right?
Yep.
And then mustard seed, like you said. Yep. You can even add some garlic or onion to this if you want to make it go that direction, but taste as you go.
All right, let's bread this up and show you what we do with it. All right, so at this point, we're going to use these beef-free, high-protein, carb-savvy wraps. They are 11 grams of protein per wrap for 90 calories. That's pretty good. That fits that 1 in 10 thing well over that, so that's nice. They are like keto, I think. I don't know. I don't do keto. I don't care about this, but the macros work out great. So here we go. We've got 1 wrap or tortilla, whatever you want to call it. So what do you want to layer first on here?
Perfect. So you warm this up a little bit, right?
It's a little warmed up, yeah, so it's more pliable and flexible.
Okay. To get started first, I'm going to lay down some lettuce. This will keep the the tortilla from getting wet.
And this is like butter lettuce, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Butter lettuce, gotta love it.
We do have to roll this, so we have to be careful.
Yes.
So what do you got here? Some tomatoes?
I just thinly sliced some tomato, put that on. I think we're ready for the salad next.
Okay, so what we did here is we measured out the whole bowl of salad, which is right here. We measured this whole thing out, and it came out to 683 grams. And 683 grams, it makes 6 serving, divided by 6 is about 113 grams. So whatever your recipe measures out to, you're making a sixth of it. So we'll just pop that in right here. Hopefully you can get it all in. All right.
Perfect.
There you go.
All right, Joey, next I washed some broccoli greens.
Oh.
Yeah, a little sprout action here.
Yeah, that's a lot of sprout action here, but okay.
Yeah, it'll go good.
All right.
We're getting ready to roll.
Oh,
We're getting ready to roll. Okay.
I suck at this. I'm going to let you do it.
All right. So in the fridge, if you wanted to add some sweet chili or some sriracha, something spicy, you can do that at this time. We're going to eat it as is. But those sauces we just mentioned are really low in calories. So.
All right, so let's start rolling here and see what we got. All right, Tim's doing the rolling. And there we go.
Well, good job rolling this up. Looks great.
Yep, looks good. Let's cut it in half. There you go. And we'll plate this up, and it'll be half of our meal for today. All right, Tim, so here we're about to make our next part of this meal, another amazing salad, our summer pasta salad.
Yes.
All right, so we've got another of our endless clear bowls right here. So I guess we'll start with the dressing, right?
Yeah, so we've got some yogurt right here.
Again, the star of the show is our yogurt because it just gives us protein, right? So that's just one serving of our recipe. Again, just like last time, you can look up our yogurt video. It makes 6 servings. And this is just our one serving, our Instant Pot yogurt.
And I think you said this was about 2/3 of a cup, right?
It is 2/3 of a cup, yeah.
So if you're using Kite Hill, you don't have your own.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. All right, Joey, so with this yogurt, let's curl it a little bit. So we have some lemon juice. Let's do 2 tablespoons.
Yeah, it's actually the juice of 1 lemon, which is about 2 tablespoons. So we just juiced this lemon. There you go.
Perfect. Okay, I'm
Is it
ready
time for the
to
spices.
I'm ready to measure out here.
All right.
So what do we?
All right, so we're gonna start with what do you have there? The salt. So 1 teaspoon of salt.
1 teaspoon.
Pop that in, and then about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. So we're just gonna do some grinding there.
Okay, some pepper here.
So of course you can put in however much you want. We're not worried about over putting in the pepper. We both love pepper, so it can't get too peppery for us.
And we know that using yogurt as a dressing, it can really take on some spice.
Yep. All right. Next, we're putting in a teaspoon of garlic powder. We're using garlic granules from Costco. So there you go. After that, we're using a tablespoon of lemon peel. Tim peeled, not what do you call it?
Zest.
Yeah, zested a lemon. So there you go. All right. So the next thing we're putting in is a pinch of parsley here. There you go.
And this is dried,
Yeah,
so
good pinch
everyone
dried.
has this in their cupboard.
And then we're also going to put in a pinch of dill, which is really all we have left. So there you go. And you can add these spices more later on if you feel like after you've mixed it, you need a little more.
Correct.
And then we can start mixing all this up right here. So Tim's going to start whisking. We may need to thin it out with some water, but there is a lot of lemon juice in there. So let's just see what happens here. The yogurt is kind of clumpy when it's in the fridge, so we kind of want to get that to be a dressing consistency so we can pour the pasta in there with it. So we have about 120 grams of bell pepper. We're putting in a mix here. Tim wanted some color, so we're putting in the red and the green, right?
Yes, and then the remaining slices of pepper I saved for sandwiches later, so that doesn't have to go to waste.
So it's total 120. We just split it 60 and 60. There you go. Then we're also putting in a half a cup of frozen peas.
So I love that there's this option now of high protein pasta.
Yeah, so Tim's putting in 2 servings of high protein pasta. It's about 112 grams.
This shape is going to hold on to the dressing. This is an awesome selection.
Yeah, and it's this stuff right here, Pasta Abilities. It's 24 grams of protein per serving. We've got 2 servings in there, so this is going to work out great for a side dish. Okay, so what do you got there?
Okay, so we've got some cilantro. This is almost a whole head. What was the weight we did? 16 ounces?
16 grams.
Yeah,
16 grams.
16 grams. Now, some of you love cilantro, some don't. It works for us, so we're using the full amount. But you could stir and taste this first.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could leave out the cilantro, Lisa Tansy, if you don't like cilantro. Otherwise, and I don't know how we're friends, but she doesn't like cilantro. But otherwise, you can pop it in and you can do it to taste. It's looking pretty good, don't you think? This is quite the summer pasta salad right here.
Yeah, doing the fold on this works because we had the dressing lining the bowl, right?
Yep, works out perfectly. All right, so you can see here the calories for one serving, and there are 4 servings in the bowl. Remember, it's a side dish. The calories are 162.8 per serving, so not bad, 162.8. For protein, we've got 17.5, so somewhere between 17 and 18 grams of protein. Carbohydrates, you got about 20 grams, and for fat, there's 2.9, which really just comes from the yogurt. So that's a good option there. We're gonna plate this up next to our wrap, and we'll show you what it looks like. All right, so we've just thrown our pasta salad, our summer pasta salad, on the plate with our chickpea salad wrap, which looks delicious. And then we've just thrown a few little vegetables on there, right?
Yep. So this is giardiniera. Guys, like 25 calories, like so light, big taste, and you can get this in spicy or mild, or you can make your own.
Yeah.
To make it just the way you like it. Just a couple things about this. The salad, you can use a little bit less lemon if you want. You can use a little less cilantro if you want. So there's ways to make this your own. So you don't have to do exactly what we did, but this is delicious.
All right, so you've got a nice, big, beautiful plate of lunch. I feel like that's a nice size serving, right?
This is awesome. We have giardiniera on the side here. Perfect to go with the summertime lemon accent. This is great.
Let's go to the calories and let's talk about how all this came together, and let's finish the video. All right, so we've got our meal here. We're ready to eat this. We've made this before, so we know it's really good. Let's take a bite. Let's eat a little bit of it, and then let's talk about the macros for the whole meal itself, all right? So we can just each grab an end of this. We're gonna share this one meal because we're gonna have other things throughout the day, but we'll give you the macros for one person eating this whole thing. And it's a lot of food. Oh man. Chickpea salad is so much better the next day. Like, it's good now, but it's gonna be really good tomorrow.
For the calories, I threw in a little bit of side of giardiniera. This really is so much better when you make it on your own and it's fermented. But low in calories, really, really good.
The wrap is absolutely delicious. We're really lucky to have access to those kind of protein wraps, right?
Yep.
That are low in calorie.
So I love that we kicked mayo to the corner on this plate.
Yogurt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of food here. There's a lot of food for one person. All right, let's go over the macros. I'm gonna have some water and then we'll go over the macros. We got the door open. I hope you don't. I hope you do hear all that stuff, but I hope it's not overpowering. All right, I'm gonna grab my glasses so I can read this. I'm gonna put this up on the screen. So this is for the whole meal. I gave you the individual macros. We've got the chickpea salad sandwich there made with the yogurt. That's what it looks like in Cronometer. Joey Troxel high protein chickpea salad sandwich with yogurt. And that is 131.88 calories for just the sandwich itself. Then you've got, and that is 131.88 calories, so basically 132 calories for just the salad. Then I've got the wrap there, right?
Yeah.
And that's another 90 calories. And then pairing it with the pasta salad, that's 162.83 calories. So the whole thing comes out to 385 calories, 36 grams of protein, 47 carbs, and 9 grams of fat. So, I mean, under 400 calories and, 36 grams of protein, that's really good for a nice lunch or a light dinner.
All right, let's move into what are some alternatives or how you can make this different. Yeah. Because let's start with the wraps. So if they can't find these protein wraps, what's some alternatives?
So we have the Thomas Bagel Thins, right?
Yeah, I think they're keto bagel thins.
Yeah, we don't do keto, but
they're just higher in protein, less calories. That's a really good option. Yeah. And then we have a protein bread.
It's the Nature's Own, again, it's a keto bread, that it's the white, and that is high in both of those options as this are high in protein and low in calories.
Correct.
That's what you want, right? Yeah. You don't want to just put it on a tortilla that like Chipotle would use, because those things are 200 calories each, right?
Yeah, if you have some calories to spare though, I mean,
go right ahead. Go big or go home.
I picture sourdough toast,
Yeah, well, that would be not. Well, your sourdough bread is actually not bad because it's made at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think if you add a little bit more vitamin wheat gluten to it, you could boost the protein in it. You also could do this as a lettuce wrap. if you didn't want that. So
But
those are a couple options.
You would lose a lot of protein because the wrap alone has like, I don't know, like 11 grams of protein or something.
Good point made.
Yeah, it depends if you're doing this for protein or just for a vegan option.
Yeah, I found that this is saucy enough where I don't need a barbecue sauce to go with it, but it would go if you needed extra sauce. Anyway,
I would never think to put barbecue sauce on anything. Tim puts on everything. So
okay.
I don't need it. These are good.
Okay, so we covered some alternatives with the burrito.
Oh, that's right.
Let's go over the salad. What are things that you could do differently?
Yeah.
We do another variation of this that has parsley.
Yeah.
Fresh parsley cut instead of the cilantro. That works as well. We've done it before.
No, I know.
Why are you smiling?
Because our intention was to do all fresh ingredients, right? We went to the store, got everything, came back, realized we missed something. Tim went to the store, it's right around the corner, came back, and then went to make it. We're like, oh my god, we don't have the fresh herbs. And at this point, we were just like, all right, we're using dry. So I mean, I just felt bad. I just felt bad saying we're gonna go to the store one more time. All right, so that's our video for today. Hey, don't forget about the podcast that Deb and I are doing, Plant-Based Besties. It's now on Spotify and Apple, and all. Apple's really where everyone gets it. On all those platforms. I listen to them at the gym sometimes just to see how the quality is and all that. Check it out, Plant-Based Besties podcast on wherever you get your podcast from. And check out Deb's channel on Chew on Vegan. We're BFFs, right? We're best friends. And Deb's coming the end of next week or right at the end of this week.
Yeah.
And we're probably going to do some stuff together. So look to both the channels for something like that, right? All right, hit that like button, show some love, click on the subscribe button, click that bell, you get notified every time we have a new video, usually every Tuesday. Leave a comment below. Are you into summer salads? Like, you could eat this stuff all year long, but summer is just begging for something like this, right?
It is, and this fits the bill.
It absolutely does. All right, we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye-bye.